Welcome to the Red Conrad Show, the story of my life and world events how I see them. If you like the show, don't forget to subscribe. Let's get this going.
Hi, everyone. This is JJ, the co-founder of Good Pods. If you haven't heard of it yet, Good Pods is like Goodreads or Instagram, but for podcasts. It's new, it's social, it's different, and it's growing really fast. There are more than 2 million podcasts, and we know that it is impossible to figure out what to listen to. On Good Pods, you follow your friends and podcasters to see what they like. That is the number one way to discover new shows and episodes. You can find Good Pods on the web or download the app. Happy listening.
Hello everybody, how you doing? I started recording this episode and then it got cut off. Thought I picked up in the second recording where it cut off and it didn't. What I was trying to talk about is not to take people for granted. If you have any kind of mental illness, and you go into a dark time, right? Whether it's severe depression, severe anxiety, whatever, and you're like me and you turn into a fucking hermit, and you got somebody that notices the change and then start fucking hounding you and harassing you, trying to fucking make sure you're okay and shit. As annoying as that is, as frustrating as it is, let them. If they care about you that much, that they actually notice when you're not around, and they're trying to find out if you're alright, somebody like that, whether they know you have the condition you have or they don't, they care about you. So open up to them. Try to anyway. Tell them what's going on. Tell them what's in your head. Let them help you through it. I have a friend down here in Florida that I've known for 12 years. A little over 12 years. 12 years. Pretty much since I moved here. And if it wasn't for him, there's several situations I wouldn't have made it through. And he was there for me pretty much, you know, almost daily when Joanne passed away from her fucking cancer. I mean, that just hit me hard. That was probably the darkest time of my life. I literally didn't do shit for fucking 2 weeks. And then, when I started making out the door, I was really only focusing on my usual customers. I wasn't advertising anymore. I wasn't really focusing on bringing on new customers again. Yet. It was hard enough to get myself out the door for my usual customers and to get food for myself and my dog. And he was there for me. He'd fucking, when I wouldn't respond to his text messages or his phone calls, he'd show up every few days. If I didn't talk to him, if we spoke on the phone or text messaged, he was fine. Alright? But if I wasn't responding to him, it'd go for a few days, and then he'd come by my house and, you know, pound on the door and shit. Make sure I was alright. Ask me how I was doing. We talk about the shit. You know, my grieving period did last a long time. And then when I started to come out of the grieving, trying to get back to some semblance of normalcy. Kind of still am trying to do that. It was a roller coaster ride for me. Like, it wasn't Like, okay, I'm done with the fucking damn grieving, time to get back to business. It's been a rough fucking ride. But he's been there for me. If he wasn't there for me, the way he was, I don't know what would have happened. There's a good chance the 2 weeks I did shit, I didn't leave the house, probably could have went on longer than that. I probably would have ended up starving myself. Because I wasn't leaving the house. I ran out of food. A couple times I ran out of food. So, if you got something like that in your life, especially if they know about your condition, and they accept you, and they try their damnedest to understand you, and they're willing to hear your shit and support you through your shit, let them. Just believe me, having somebody to talk to, it does help. And it is a lot easier than dealing with the shit yourself. I mean, on a normal daily basis, for as long as I can remember, I'm fighting inside my own head every day, all day. Every fucking waking moment, I'm battling my own head. So I can almost assume that if you have similar conditions to what I got, you're probably fighting with your own mind with different fucking thoughts too, all the time. And when you turn into a fucking hermit, and it's literally just you and your head, it only drives you further and further down into your fucking goddamn depression or anxiety. And that's not fucking healthy for a number of reasons. So if you've got somebody like that in your fucking damn life, don't take it for granted. Because those people are fucking far and few between. I actually just got fucking reminded by somebody just how far and few between that is, because they apologized to me for not calling me recently, because they're going through some shit, because they used to fucking harass me all the time, almost daily. They know what my work schedule is. I work 17 fucking hours a goddamn day, 7 days a week. Some nights I don't get any fucking sleep. It's like I can't sleep. And so in the few hours I do have to sleep, they're ringing my fucking phone. Like, what the fuck? But anyways, they apologize that I haven't heard from them in a bit, because they're going through some shit. They haven't felt like themselves. Okay, fine. So I told them point blank, it's a good thing you didn't, because my one friend come by, and when he did, I let out some frustrations. He almost took it personal. Let me know as much, so I tried explaining to him, that I wasn't yelling at him, I'm yelling to him, like I'm just venting. And we had a little bit of back and forth, fucking comparing life stories with each other. But, long story short, the talk did help. He came by to check up on me, and to help calm me down, and by the time he left, I can say that I did feel a little bit fucking calmer. And he was here longer than he expected to be, because when we finally knew what the time it was, it turned out that he was fucking here, I don't know, 3-4 hours. And it was, in the middle of the fucking damn night. I had just gotten back from fucking work. I don't remember what he was doing. I don't remember what the fuck he had to do the next day, but he knows I'm normally getting up at like 3-4 o'clock in the morning every morning, and so he's been pushing me to try to get on, a more normal work schedule. And I'm trying to do that, but I got other issues I'm trying to take care of too, so I'm letting myself work these longer hours, at least for now, until I get caught up on certain things. But bottom line is, don't take people like that for granted if you have them in your life. Because this person that apologized to me about it, I point blank told her, that's fine, because I had my friend come by, my friend of pretty much 12 and a half years, the length of time I've been here in Florida, come by. I let out frustrations on him, and I quite frankly would have much preferred it happen to him than to her. Because for one, I don't know her that well. We just recently met, and I just don't feel I can fucking talk to her like that. I just don't. And she pretty much came back at me saying that if I ever fucking goddamn take shit out on her that she wasn't directly involved in, that'll be that. That's it. So, there you have it. There's people that you can vent to, and then there's the majority of people that you fucking can't. For whatever reason, you just can't. Whether they're like the one guy I know who turns everything into a fucking joke, and I'm sorry, if my life is gonna be a joke, it'll be me telling it. If I wanted a certain story from my life to be told as a joke, I will tell it as a joke. But if I'm going through something and I'm being serious about it, like it's something I'm going through presently, and I'm either trying to vent about it or I'm looking for advice on how to handle it, I expect it to be taken seriously. Well, there's one guy that I know would turn it into a joke. Guaranteed, he turns everything into a fucking joke. So I don't talk to him like that. I don't vent to him. I don't ask him for advice. No. Just no. I don't really hang out with him as much as I used to. When we used to hang out, we pretty much just play pool, drink a beer or two. Fucking bullshit. Whatever. I still enjoy myself, but I wouldn't, let him in on my personal shit. Apparently, since this other person, I can't do that with her either. She's not that kind of fucking friend, apparently. So if you've got somebody in your life, especially if they know about your conditions, because my friend of 12 years does, they know about your conditions, if they're trying their damnedest to understand, and they're trying their damnedest to understand you, right? And they care about you enough that when you're going through a dark time, they're gonna be there for you, they're gonna check up on you, they're gonna try to support you, they're gonna try to fucking help you through your shit. That is a fucking friend that you do not want to push away. And so, if you're anything like me, where you in your dark times, you turn to hermit, you don't talk to fucking nobody, you push everybody the fuck away, don't do that to that person or persons that actually care about you enough that will fucking notice the change in your behavior and fucking goddamn keep on harassing you to make sure you're alright, trying to find out what's wrong. Let them in. Talk to them. Let them fucking be there for you. Let them fucking support you through it. And if you're somebody that doesn't have mental illness, you're quote unquote normal, for lack of better terms, and you know somebody that's got a mental illness, or you at least suspect as much, or even if you don't suspect as much, or even if you don't know, they're just down and out. If they trust you enough to talk to you about their personal shit, no matter how big or small their problem might seem to you, don't mock them, don't ridicule them, Don't turn their shit into a fucking joke. In other words, don't make them feel like like they're a lesser human being than you are. Okay? If they're gonna trust you enough to talk to you about their personal shit, especially if they're gonna be open enough with you that they have this mental illness, whether it's depression, anxiety, whatever. And I'm saying depression and anxiety more like an umbrella term because there's several different depressive disorders, several different anxiety disorders. And then I got 2 different anxiety disorders. PTSD is considered an anxiety disorder. I got that, and then I got general anxiety. When it comes to depressive disorders, I got 3. Bipolar, dysthymia, and BPD. So if they're going to trust you enough with that they have this condition, so they know they might be seeing things a certain way, or thinking things through a certain way that might not be, I don't want to fucking say right way, so that's going to fucking sound fucked up. But if they feel that there could be like a better way of viewing it, to find a solution to the problem, they're trusting you enough with that and with their problem to have your eyeballs from the outside looking in to maybe give them, another point of view on it, another perspective, and help them find an alternative solution to their problem. Don't abuse that fucking trust that person is putting in you. Be there for them. Listen to their shit. Let them fucking vent to you. And then when they're ready to hear it, as the outsider looking in, offer up the advice on how to solve that particular problem based on the view you're getting from the information they gave you. If you feel there's not enough information there to really have like a concrete solution to the issue, then ask the questions to fill in the blanks. If they're comfortable enough, they'll answer the questions. If not, then don't push it. Leave them alone a little bit when they're ready to let you know. Because by engaging with them, by being there and listening to them, and being supportive, you're now allowing them to feel like you actually care, and that they can actually trust you. So when they're ready, they'll go back to you and fill in the blanks. And when they do, from your outside view looking in, offer up your perspective of their problem and a possible solution to the problem. And then between your solution and whatever their solution is, maybe they can get their problem solved. Whatever it may be. And I'm not saying it's going to be an easy problem. Not everything is. I mean, it could be something stupid, but it could be something massive. It could be something that, you might be talking to off and on for a long time. Like, you might hear about it now, and then, months could go by. And then, here it is again, where they're bringing it up again. Because some problems, unfortunately, just don't have solutions, depending on what the problem is. And they just need you to, need your ears, so they need your shoulder. They need you to be their fucking support system. So do that for them. Regardless, whether you're somebody with suffering with depression or anxiety disorders, or any kind of mental illness, or you're somebody that is being trusted by somebody that is, don't fucking take the other person for granted. Be there for each other. You'd be amazed how much the simple act of just being there and talking helps both parties. And if you're somebody like me that's suffering with the mental illness, I know it's a redundancy. I know you've probably heard it a million times from a million different people. But talking really does fucking help. When I was first diagnosed, I didn't want to fucking talk to anybody about it. I didn't want to admit, half the fucking disorders that I got to anybody. So I didn't want anybody to view me differently. Now, I don't give a fuck. I mean, I'm putting out there on a very public podcast what my issues are. I've put out there a couple years ago on a very public blog series that I started, what my conditions are. I don't fucking give a shit. Mental health needs to fucking get spoken about more than it is. It needs to be taken more serious than it is. A lot of these conditions that are still over-stigmatized need to be destigmatized. People need to have a better understanding of these conditions and of the people that suffer with them, particularly BPD. The stigma around BPD is fucking ridiculous. It really is. That shit really needs to get spoken about and addressed more. I mean, I'm finding a lot of BPD communities on the internet, which is a wonderful thing, that at least all of us can come together and talk amongst ourselves and help each other out. I'm actually glad to see it. I really fucking am. A lot of what other sufferers are saying online, it has been helping me, actually. Simply by making me aware that I'm not alone, even in my issues, my situations. Because we are all different. We all do go through different shit in our lives. But I'm seeing a lot of relatable stories. Maybe not 100%. Or not every last little detail is exactly the same. But close enough where I can relate. Whether it was a story of their childhood, or once they've reached adulthood, something that happened to them, whether it was work related or personal life related or whatever. Their story, and how they handled it, and how it made them feel, was close enough to mine. I was able to relate to it, and just knowing that somebody else out there is suffering similar to me, I don't gotta feel crazy. Like, I'm not proud necessarily that somebody else is suffering as bad as I am. But at least I know I'm not alone, and they know they're not alone. Like, there are others of us out there that are suffering the same fucking goddamn way. And the fact that a lot of them have started to come together and create different communities and help each other out, that's a step in the right direction. But the general public really needs to, be made more aware of these different conditions, and the stigma attached to them really needs to be erased. It is ridiculous. I mean, people should not be ashamed of themselves because they were diagnosed with a certain disorder. People shouldn't have to be worried or concerned about people finding out they have a certain disorder because, oh my god, people find out, I'm going to be treated different. People should not have to go through life feeling like that. It's fucking bullshit. I mean, everybody... There's a lot of shit out there, mainly by psychologists, that are promoting this shit, this shit, that you got to come in, you talk, blah 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 blah, right? Get your diagnosis if something's wrong with you, and they'll be the first ones to promote, talking. But then you get these diagnoses, and just from the fucking stigma attached to certain disorders, these people now don't want to talk because they feel all of a sudden like they're fucking outcasts. And like, oh my god, I got this terrible thing wrong with me. If anybody finds out, they're gonna look at me different. And that's just gotta fucking stop. I mean, we're the same people we were before we were diagnosed. Right? If anything, getting diagnosed with these disorders should help us understand why we are the way we are. And now that we know what's wrong with us, we can learn different coping skills to deal with it and improve ourselves. And being aware of different things about how our minds work and different triggers and stuff, we can catch different things. And before certain feelings get too intense, if we're being triggered, right, we can make ourselves aware of that before it gets too serious. So talking to a shrink and getting the damn diagnosis should be a good thing for people like us. Because now we know what's wrong with us, and now we have a direction we can go in to start improving ourselves and start fucking getting better. But because of the stigma attached to a lot of these disorders still, a lot of people don't feel that way. And a lot of people that have these conditions still don't know about it because of the stigma. They won't even go to a fucking shrink to get the diagnosis, to discover what's wrong with them, to start, making that progression towards improving themselves and understanding themselves better. So that all this needs to stop, and then this just circles right back around to, if you've got somebody in your life that when something's going on, when you're entering one of your dark times, and they notice the change in your behavior, and they start harassing you and shit, trying to make sure you're alright, asking you what's wrong, are you okay, blah blah blah, fucking let them in. Let them be there for you. Talk to them. Let them be the fucking support system that they're trying to be. And for those of you that, have somebody going to you, whether you know they have a condition or not, they're just going to you, trusting you with what's going on. They're trying to vent to you. Don't fucking brush it off. Don't turn it into a damn joke. Don't abuse their trust. They're trusting you enough to tell you this shit, to talk to you about this shit. So the least you can do in return is be there for them. Try to understand where they're coming from. Try to understand how they're fucking viewing things. If they leave an opening for it, or they come right out and ask for your advice or whatever, or can they leave it open, offer up your perspective from the outside looking in. Offer up an alternative solution to what they might have suggested that they were thinking about, or that they're trying to do. On that note, I'm going to end this episode here. I'll see you in the next one. Have a wonderful day. If you enjoy the show, please subscribe for subscriber-only content. You can find links to subscribe at show.redconrad.com. Subscriptions are available directly through Spotify, as well as through a Memberful account, where you can access subscriber-only content on any podcast listening platform. Whatever platform you prefer to listen to podcasts on, you will be able to listen to my subscriber-only content on that platform via a feed specifically for you through your Memberful account. Again, the links to the subscriptions can be found at show.redconrad.com.
Hi, everyone. This is JJ, the co-founder of Good Pods. If you haven't heard of it yet, Good Pods is like Goodreads or Instagram, but for podcasts. It's new, it's social, it's different, and it's growing really fast. There are more than 2 million podcasts, and we know that it is impossible to figure out what to listen to. On Good Pods, you follow your friends and podcasters to see what they like. That is the #1 way to discover new shows and episodes. You can find Good Pods on the web or download the app. Happy listening!
Thank you for listening to this episode of The Red Conrad Show. Don't forget to subscribe, and remember, if you're not listening on Spotify, Spotify is the home of my subscription-only content. So any stories you want to hear that have part 1 or they're missing pieces on the free side, you gotta hop over to Spotify and subscribe to the subscription content to get the missing pieces of those particular stories. I will see you in the next episode.